Hello guys, welcome back to another Thaumcraft 4.2 tutorial. So today we're going to be covering if you have a look in the Eldritch tab here, we're going to be covering the advanced Essentia storage. So I didn't know anything about this in the last episode thing that I did, but I've done some research on it recently, and I'd like to share that with you guys and just show you all about this thing because it is really funky. So if we just get Mr. Golem out of there, I don't know why he's in the middle. Come here, Mr. Golem. Right, okay, so we're going to place Mr. Golem back down there. Nope, not there. On there, fantastic, there you go, and we just get rid of all of this stuff here. So, as you can see, I've got two of these Essentia reservoirs. And let's quickly go over them, and I'll read them in the book, and I'll show you guys how to make them first of all. So this is part of the Eldritch tab. It's quite advanced stuff. Most types of Essentia are fairly volatile, and care must be taken in its storage. That is why most thaumaturges use watered jars. You, however, are not most thaumaturges. Using the wonderful new substance called void metal, you have discovered a way to greatly improve the storage of Essentia. Essentia reservoirs are capable of storing up to 256 Essentia in any combination. Potentially disastrous mixing of the different Essentia types is prevented by having dynamically reshaping compartments crafted from the new metal. Like jars, the reservoirs can only be accessed from one side through. You can choose how they are, orientated. Unfortunately, they cannot be emptied or filled by hand, so you need to rely on tubes or golems for that. Picking up a reservoir while filled is unadvisable. You are so pleased with this discovery that you showed it off to some fellow thaumaturges. Strangely, most of them dive for cover even after you insured them. The constant sound of metal under incredible stress is perfectly normal. Fantastic. So these things are really funky, and I was playing around with them a little bit. So as you can see, we've got two different kinds of Essentia in this one here, and it's flashing between two colors. So we've got super beer in there and a Oram in there, and we got 129 Oram, 127 super beer, whatever it's called. And yeah, so that totals 256 altogether, which is really nice. And this one here, I've got 128 Terra in there, and you can see it's not flashing any colors. So this will flash between the colors of all the ones that you have in there, which is really cool. So the only two ways to do this is to have a golem do it. Let's just quickly grab some, I think it's smooth stone. Yep, grab a stack of smooth stone. We're going to place that in here for this little golem here, and what he's going to do is he's going to take that and he's going to carry on filling this thing here up for us. Really cool stuff. So he should fill that all the way up to 256 with the Terra. I got him to fill this one up just for a bit of testing. So as you can see, he'll fill from any side of this pretty much. But as you can see, we've also, it says you can pipe them in as well. A little bit of a freeze there, don't know what happened, but you can pipe these in as well. So there's only one way you can pipe these in, and that is from the back. So you can see we've got a tube coming off of here. If we build this up, place that there, you see it won't go into the side. We try it and place it around the other way, so place it front ways. You'll see it won't go in. Try it from the top, bottom, whatever you want is not going to work. The only way you can do it is from the back, like so. So I'm just wondering if you place this one down like so. Yeah, you'll see there's a little hole on the back, so that's how you fill it up, by pipe. As you can see, the golem just fills it from any side. But yeah, you can fill it from the back with piping, which makes it really ideal. Like, you can have them, so we could say we're going to separate that like that. And we're going to place that one there, and we can place that there. Place that there as well, and just place that one there. And then what we can do is we can actually grab this tubing and just run it in around behind them all, and we can probably put filters on them so we can only allow certain things to flow through them and stuff like that. But it looks really cool, and then obviously once it's filled up you won't be able to see through it, but it makes a really nice little pattern there. Let's just quickly pop these up. So if you had like a wall of them, it would make a really cool nifty little pattern like that, and it just carry on and carry on. So the question that I want to ask is, Like, I don't know the answer to this yet, but what I want to know is priorities. Which way is he going to prioritize now? Because obviously we did the whole priority thing with the labeled water jar, labeled void jar, unlabeled water jar, and unlabeled void jar. So if we add this to the mix, what is going to happen? So we want we're going to set up a new one over here. I'm just going to set up a little bit of piece over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into here. We're going to get rid of that quickly. And we are going to grab ourselves a alchemical furnace. So I don't know the answer to this. This is one thing that I want to test out myself as well, because I have no idea. Like I said, I've never played with these before, but now I've started to play with them, I'm definitely going to go out and play with them a little bit more. Right, so we pop all of these up here. Pop a good couple up there, and we're going to be using we'll use the cobble, we'll use the smooth stone, sorry, because that gives us just terra, and then we can sort this out in that way. So if we come here, we're going to place all these jars around it, and hopefully we'll see. So we've got a water jar. We want to grab ourselves a void jar as well, wherever they may be. There they are. And then we're going to place down another water jar. We're going to place down another void jar, and then we're going to place down the Essentia reservoir. We're going to stick that up ways, just because. Right, so let's see which order he does this in. So we're going to have to grab ourselves a little bit of terra. They're all going to be empty, by the way. So let's just grab two, where are you? 2 vials of terra really quickly, and then we're going to grab 2 labels. It's all in the name of science, peoples. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to crafting bench. Come over here 2 seconds. Terra in there, labels in there, 2 terra labels. Fantastic, there we go. Shut that away. So we're going to come over here, label that, label that. Can't label these, by the way, I've tried it. You cannot label them. Obviously, because you can have such a mix of them in there at some point. So let's grab some elementum. In you go. And let's grab ourselves one of these boys. So, is he carrying anything? No. There you go. We can place him back over there. And then we're going to place this one here. So, we've got warded, labeled, void labeled. We've got warded, unlabeled, void unlabeled, and we have an Essentia reservoir there. And yeah, so that's all the vanilla Thaumcraft stuff. There's another jar that's added in a different mod pack, but we're not going to cover that today. So we've got Golem here. He is hooked up to this. Yes, he is indeed. And then we're just going to hook him up down to every single one. We're going to put a marker on every single one just to make it fair, just to make sure there's no variation in there. So then we're going to chuck in all this stone, and we're going to see which one he goes for first. Oh, that is interesting. The reservoir trumps everything. So there you go. Now you just learned something. Reservoir comes first. So now the order that things are done in, by the looks of it, that's really, really interesting. So obviously we're going to have... The order now is that, 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 that. Obviously, these two are going to have labels on them, so let's just... So you can't fill this by hand. So that's the downside of it. You can't fill it by hand. Right, so there you go. There is your order of the new jars of how they're going to work. So obviously it's going to go... Let's break that way. As you can see, it doesn't do nice things when it breaks. There you go. Now he's going to go for that one. So if we get rid of that one, he should go for the void jar. Get rid of that one. He should go for the unlabeled void jar. Unlabeled regular jar. And now he'll go for the unlabeled void jar. That's really, really interesting stuff. I did not expect that to happen at all. So there we have it. That is the new order for Essentia storage. Assuming you're using reservoirs, your golems will target these things first before they'll target these things. I'm not sure, this is the next part of my test, if you can use these for infusions. If you can, it would be pretty pretty sweet. But we'll find out just momentarily. So let's quickly find ourselves a infusion to do. And I'll be back with you guys in a second, and we're going to test if they can be used for infusions or not, or if we've still got to use jars for them or not. Hello guys, and we're back. So I went and got a load of things set up for the Pickaxe of the Core infusion, which is a fairly simple infusion. It's fairly easy, shouldn't be too unstable either. But we've got 2 fire shards here. We've got a great wood log and a diamond with a thorn pickaxe in the middle, all set up. There you go. Did I set it up right? No, I didn't. You'd need to swap with you. So I do get very picky about my symmetry on this. So got that in the middle. We should have everything we need here. We got 32 fire, 32 Portfolio, and 32 census in there, and we only need 10 of each for this, or 8 of each for this, sorry. And all the other jars have been taken out, so there's no interference. They've all been placed in a chest far away, so there's nothing within the radius that should be pulling out of. These 2 here don't contain anything we need for this infusion, so let's give it a crack and see if it works. It does indeed. As you can see there is physical proof that it will pull out of this. That is so cool. So basically what you can do is, if you really wanted to, you could use these things to preset for infusions. So you could turn around and be like, well, I need this much of this for this infusion. So let's go look at a crazy infusion somewhere. So you could say I need 32 machiner. So you could put 32 machiner inside that thing. Put 16 motors, you put 32 Portfolio, 16 Potentia, and 16 Bacchus, all in this one thing. Place it there, or place it wherever, and then just be like, right, that is everything I need for this infusion. And then you can just place it there, place all your bits and pieces around, and job is a good one. This thing needs to die. There you go. He is dead. Fantastic. But that is really cool that it can pull out of them. Didn't think that was going to happen at all, so I am super duper surprised there. But as you can see, it's flashing between all the different colours that we have in there. It's not going super duper fast, but it's flashing quite nicely. It's quite of a mesmerising effect, if I'm honest with you. I like it. If it's filled up like this one over here is, it's a very mesmerising effect. But yeah, so that is going to be it for the Advanced Essentia storage. Very cool piece of equipment. I didn't actually show you guys how to make it. It is fairly easy. It's not too bad at all. You got to put Essentia buffer with 4 water jars and 2 void metal ingots. So obviously it's going to require the 4 water jars because it stores 256 and each of these stores 64. 4 of them is going to make the 256. So you're basically compiling it all together into one. You got 2 void metal ingots, which are pretty easy. I showed you how to make them last episode. And you've got the Essentia buffer, which is a fairly simple piece of kit to make. It's going to take an Essentia valve, glass vials, and some Essentia tubes, which I did cover a way back, and I think that's a filtered one on the bottom, restricted Essentia tube, and an Essentia valve, which are both fairly easy to make. That's one with a lever on there, and this one here is just a piece of stone with a Essentia tube as well. So fairly simple stuff to make. Go check it out. I'm definitely going to be upgrading to a couple of these. I use Thaumcraft Energistics as well, but I think these are really cool, and I do actually want a couple of these around my base, one with each of the Essentia types in it would look really cool. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys have learned something useful. I definitely have myself. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see all of your beautiful faces in the next video. Goodbye.